Good morning. Today we are working on our next objective with those expressions and verbal phrases. We are doing CO38. I can evaluate algebraic expressions using multiple operations. First thing we want to know is what the word evaluate means. What does it mean to evaluate? Oh, I talked to somebody about this yesterday with Khan Academy. It was either yesterday or the day before. What does the word evaluate mean? Wasn't it you, Liam? What did we have to do if we were evaluating it?
I don't remember.
You have to do the math. To evaluate something means do the math. So the last two objectives, we were just writing the expression or writing the verbal phrase. Now when we evaluate, even though there's no equal sign, we're doing the math. Okay, so we're going to be using multiple operations to do some math. So by now, hopefully we are comfortable with variables and using their given values to evaluate expressions. So far, we focused specifically on addition and subtraction, multiplication and division, and exponents. Now we're going to put all those operations together. So remember, we have to follow PERMDAS. So we did this back at the beginning of the year. We were talking about PERMDAS and figuring out how to, do we add? I've asked us yesterday to stop with the feet. So now I'm going to have you sit over at the side table. This is time for us to focus on the math lesson. So, order of operations. Parentheses first. If we see parentheses in our expression, we do that first. Next level is, Next level is exponents. So remember, exponents are if we're squaring the number. Remember, if it's 5 squared, that is not 5 times 2. 5 squared means 5 times 5. 5 to the third power would be 5 times 5 times 5. So remember how we do those exponents. Then our next, or exponents and radicals. Radicals are those square roots. Square root of 25 is 5, because 5 times 5 equals 25. So we have parentheses as the first level. Then we have exponents and radicals. Next level is multiply and divide. It doesn't matter which one we hit first. We read from left to right. Any multiplying or dividing, whatever we hit first as we start at the left and we go towards the right, that's what we do. After that, we do our adding and subtracting. Whatever we hit first. If there's a minus, and then later in our expression there's a plus, we do the minus first. Whatever we hit first, going from left to right. It does not have to be in order of adding, then subtracting. Whatever we hit first. So we have to remember the rules of the order of operations. So now it says write each expression with the following values plugged in. If you see an A, you're going to put a 4. If you see a B, you're going to put a 10. If you see a C, you're going to put a 3. And if you see a D, you're going to put an 8. So we're going to rewrite the expression with no letters, no variables, all numbers with the operations going the correct way. Then we're going to evaluate it. We're going to do the math. Okay. So when it says evaluate, you do the math. So here, if we have a 2 next to an A, what have I been telling us that operation is? Anime?
2 times 4.
Yeah, it's 2 times that variable, and A is 4. So I want to see you writing 2 times 4, then plus 6. So the first step, you do no math. You just plug in your numbers. So I want to see your expression with the numbers plugged in. We're not trying to do mental math and just give an answer. I want to see you rewriting it. So now we look at PERMDAS. What's the first step I have to do? Zelda?
Parentheses?
On this expression. There's no parentheses. There's no exponents or radicals. So what am I gonna do?
multiplication is first.
Multiplying and dividing, and I see a multiply right away. So 2 times 4 is 8 plus 6. Notice how I'm rewriting it. I want you to rewrite, and we're gonna narrow down our expression till we get our answer. So we're going to make a funnel shape. Now we just have one operation left, and we know what we have to do. 8 plus 6 is 14. So our final answer is 14. Let's look at our next one. B divided by 5 minus 2. What's our first step? Amanda? Yeah, I have to write the expression with my numbers. I see B is 10, so 10 divided by 5 minus 2. Remember, I'm making my funnel. I don't want you trying to do all mental math. I want us writing out step by step. When we try to do all mental math and figure it out in our heads, that's when we make simple mistakes. We're going to break ourselves from that habit here. Even though if we could do mental math and get it right, we're not going to do that. We're going to get in the habit of writing it out, because as the year goes on, we're getting into harder, more challenging stuff that we can't do mental math with. So I want us to be in the habit of writing it out step by step. I want to see you making that funnel going down to your answer. What is the first step I'm going to do here, Layla? Yeah, I need to divide. 10 divided by 5 is what? 2. So I'm going to bring down the rest of my expression, minus 2. I only have one operation left, so I know what I have to do. 2 minus 2 is 0. Let's look at our next one. What's my first step? Remembering that I'm going to be funneling it down. What's my first step? Connor? Ooh. Careful. You said 4 plus 1. That first step is putting that 4 in there. So we have to plug our number, and we're going to rewrite our equation with that 4 in for the A. Now here we have that multiplication symbol in front of our parentheses. Sometimes you'll see it like this without that multiplication symbol. Remember, it's just like when the number's in front of the variable. When it's in front of the parentheses, it means multiply. So it's the same thing. You don't have to have that multiplication symbol in front of a parentheses. It's just we know that means multiply. So our first step was plugging the 4 in for the A. Connor, what's my next step? Yeah. Why am I doing 4 plus 1? That's adding. That's at the very end of ProDust. It's in the parentheses. So I have to do inside parentheses first. And then I'm going to carry down the rest of my expression 5 times. So 5 times 5, there's only one operation left. I have to do that operation. What is 5 times 5, Claire? 25. And our last one. Remember, I'm making my funnel. So I need to be working down. What's my first step? Layla? Yeah, I have to plug in the values of my variables. So I still have 20 plus. C is a 3 multiplied by D, which is 8. So I have 20 plus 3 times 8. Using PermDust, what's my first step of PermDust? What do I do next? Zelda.
You multiply the 3 and the 8.
I have to multiply 3 times 8, which is what, Zelda?
It's 24, and then you add that to the
Then I have to bring down the rest of my expression. 20 plus So notice how I'm just bringing that expression straight down. So now I only have one operation left. 20 plus 24 is what? 44. Be careful, we will see that we have exponents. Here I have c to the fourth power. So that would be c times c times c times c. Not c times 4. C times c times c times c. So when we get down there, we would write it out that way. C is 3, so it'd be 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Or you could just put 3 to the fourth power and on your calculator using that exponent button that we learned about way back in the fall. So remember, that's the little arrow button. You put in 3, the little arrow button, and then 4, and the 4 goes up small, so you know it's the exponent. On the bottom of the page, we've got some word problems to figure out and then review. Any questions on this? Ava?
I forgot how to do
The exponents?
Yeah.
So on your calculator, if we had 3, you'd put, that's your base number, the big number. Then you do the little arrow button. You press that, and then it's to the fourth power. So it would be 3 to the fourth power, and then you hit equals. Okay? Yep. All right. Any other questions? Okay, if you are watching at home or watching elsewhere, we hope you are well. We hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful day. Do not forget to work on Khan Academy due tonight. I know there were glitches last night, but we need to keep on trying to get into it. Math packet, if you turn it in by tomorrow, by Friday, I'll give it back to you to make corrections. It is due next Tuesday. And remember, those summary sheets were due this week, so make sure you get your summary sheets signed and turned in to me so we don't have that missing on Blackboard. So now, if you are watching this elsewhere, I hope you are well. Hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful day.